driving to Boston from I-90, and I was just taken by New England, and I just loved it. I knew I wanted to be there at some point. Then I know Gary Kaspersky, of course. I know about the reputation of your music faculty and the students. We had an alum from BBSU who went to your master's program in Scott Nichols a couple of years ago. He was very happy there, I think. And I've been at BBSU for 13 years now, and I've been in the Midwest for maybe 17 years altogether. So I think it's time to move on. There's nothing wrong with the Midwest, but I really like the intellectual media place in New
Zealand. Okay.
And say the second time also, we have about the same size of music unit as BGS, so I know this kind of unit very well.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
And and you are a flagship institute.
Yes.
That's very, very attractive. That we are kind of a mid of the pack, one of many kind of mid-sized universities in the state of Ohio. We still have problems hearing me.
Just a little bit, but we're hanging in there.
And now I have difficulty hearing you.
Okay. Now, so my question is, how would you approach or lead a large and varied faculty comprised of academics, performers, lecturers, and tenure-track faculty? And what are some of the challenges you may have faced or envision facing in managing this kind of faculty?
I think key is to have an open process for all voices to be heard. At PG, we have quite a good governmental structure where the faculty take strong responsibilities in participating in the life and the governance of the college. Since we are in college, all our faculty will participate in committees across campus, and they really would like to serve us as a college, and they understand absolutely necessary to participate. But we also have a very strong governmental structure within the college with faculty having a strong sense of responsibility. So what we do here is we have an administrative committee consisting of the department chairs, me, and the dean. And we meet once a week, and we discuss everything that occurs on our plate. Once every month, we meet together with faculty executive committee, and we have a bigger joint committee. In addition to faculty meetings once a week, so we meet a lot, we collaborate a lot, and we see ourselves as kind of privileged being a college but only having some 450 students. How do we manage scholars and performers? I think we have to build a culture where we mutually understand that there's no contradiction being a scholar or being a performer. And all our academic faculty perform somehow to be in the wedding ensemble or choirs, that leading choirs or performing in choirs, or I play as an occasional freelance violinist. Our performance faculty understand that the academic side is very important. I never received any resistance from a performance faculty about any issues regarding to, for example, students failing in class. I never experienced pressure, even when I was a new hire. So the culture has to be built in there, and we have to be supportive of each other. And I think, so what I heard, you have that culture already. miss any part of that question? Did I did I address all aspects of the question?
Yes.
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 Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You're next.
This next question is in regard to the undergraduate curriculum. So we are in the process of redesigning our undergraduate curriculum. The current version was instituted over 10 years ago, and since that time there's been a considerable amount of creep or additional things that have crept into the schedule with regard to student time demands and scheduling conflicts, both within our department and with other courses on campus. The results of this process will impact all areas, students and faculty alike. And can you tell us, do you have any experiences with curricular reform, and what are your thoughts on joining a faculty in the middle of this broad discussion of self-assessment?
Oh, I would do that. This is a good discussion. I think this should be particularly was part of a revision a couple of years ago here when we took a look at our core curriculum, and I was the main author of the report. And we decided that we didn't need to make many changes. The system was set up, the scheduling worked virtually flawlessly. So we did very few changes. I was on the committee at Butler University with the graduate course offerings, and we came to the same conclusions. I've done more work on that. Most recently, we had to review our general education curriculum because it was mandated by the state that we add credit hours to our degree program. So I have done all of those things, and it might not be the most exciting thing to do, but I'm happy to participate, and I would be happy to listen. And some very good productive changes can certainly come out of that. Do you have anything? Maybe I shouldn't ask any questions yet. I should answer your questions and then save it to the very end.
So we've been fortunate to have a number of tenure track hires in the past few years, and we hope that continues. Can you describe your experience mentoring junior faculty members?
Mentoring a new faculty member.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So most of the mentoring is done by the department level, but I run the introductory kind of workshop with all new faculty members in early fall before school starts. I also run a workshop for 3-year review with everybody going up for a pre-tenure review, because I'm the coordinator of tenure and promotion. I also run the tenure workshop with faculty going up to full professor as well as associate professor. So that's kind of mostly the kind of mentoring I'm doing. But I'm an official mentor of colleagues in my department, musicologists and theorists, senior faculty in particular. And I spent quite a bit of time with colleagues in other departments as well, just hanging out, attending concerts, and some of the junior colleagues and their friends privately as well. So I try to help as much as I can, and both formally and informally. And that's one of the tasks I like the most, actually.
Could I just...
But they're so energetic, and so many ideas, and so stimulating to hang out with the young.
Could I just follow up and ask what you do in those workshops?
Technical aspects of course have to use electronic system. We have a system developed at the University of United States called ERPT, electronic promotional training. But also what you put in your material, in the dossier, what kind of material that goes in. I understand the entire process, not just how the department is work. I understand how the provost things as well. That's delegated to the provost. So I give them all sides of the equation, how to put together a dossier that will appeal to everybody.
Okay, Okay, thank you.
But for the introductory workshop in the fall, I talked about all our the processes and details of photocopies and how to sign up for this and that.
Okay, thanks. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Okay. Can you describe a difficult leadership situation you've experienced and how you've resolved it and what you learned from it?
We have one. We had an event a couple of years ago where a staff member got really angry with the faculty member. And it was kind of, I was involved because I made a decision that made the staff member angry. I allowed the faculty member to use a specific facility at a time that was not in accordance with the wishes of the staff member. I can tell you what kind of situation it was because that would reveal who the staff member was. And we started, the staff member was shouting at the junior faculty member. This is something that happens maybe once every 5 years. It's very rare that we have a culture of the support and share. But this situation could not be allowed to fester. So I called both of them into my office separately, and I asked for a written statement. And I really wanted each to understand that this is a part of the culture. We have to allow different opinions and not allow for both faculty and staff to share about 7 students in the class. And I think they got it. What I learned from it is really never let this kind of grievances fester. We have to take care of events, of these incidents really, really properly and make sure that it's solved. I can, if we have time at the end, I might come up with the other example.
Okay, that's fine. Oh, that's fine.
Thank you. I'm sure you've taken a look at our particular department. Do you have any thoughts about a vision for our department?
Thoughts about, I didn't get the rest.
Thought about a vision for our department.
About what? Sorry.
Have you thought about a vision for our department?
I think it would be a little presumptuous of me to do that at this time. So if I got an offer, I would spend maybe the first year to learn about the unit and to listen a lot. When I look at what you are doing, I don't see any major flaws. Comparison on that program, I like that. You seem to be in the other areas very traditional, typical NASM medium school, size school curriculum. So the vision is to continue to do what you do well. I'm sorry if I'm very vague at this point. Perhaps something could be done more with the 5 college consortium. I don't know how well that works. It's really difficult to move from campus to campus. That's what I know at this point. But there seem to be lots of possibilities there.
Mm-hmm.
But as of now, one thought, was one of my questions at the end is, do you have any opportunity to grow? And I don't know. It could be facilities, issues with that. It could be university mandate, limit of how many students you can have. Right now we have maybe less than 400, 300 for vacancy. So that could be something to be looked at, but vision, I think, would be a little bit. So
Yeah.
it's being vague. I'm not dodging the question.
Thank you. The university has a broad commitment to diversity. How do you feel that your work addresses this commitment?
Just reading a book on diversity now is a bit different. It's written by a professor of complex systems. He's a heavy math guy. But he has, coming from a completely different perspective, showing that diversity is absolutely necessary to solve different problems. He has done computer modeling of systems that are not diverse and that are diverse. And that even the diverse systems are having less than perfect setup, but they kind of generate different outcomes. That has many details about how the computer modeling works. But it's absolutely necessary to have diversity in many aspects, not just race and ethnicity, but gender and socioeconomic background. Society will work better, but also from a fiscal standpoint, the company will work better with a diverse workforce. So I'm completely devoted to that, and I think those issues have to be addressed when we recruit students and when we recruit faculty. I simply like seeing other people than myself in the faculty.
Okay. Do you have any questions for us?
Yes. Information. Put your screen behind here, and I can put your screen. Yeah, you know the question I was thinking of. Are you really able to grow from less than 400 students to, let's say, 450? I don't know how many you are now. Are you allowed to? And if you are allowed to, how do you recruit students?
With our present, I mean, my colleagues can address this too, but with our present facility, I don't see us being able to grow in numbers. We are definitely in hopes of getting some rooms from the architecture department, which is getting a brand new building across the street. So we're hoping to get some rooms out of that. But the ability to get a brand new building, which we desperately need in order to grow or even maintain what we have right now, we really are outsizing our current facility by far. So that's a question that we are always, hoping that our leadership will take us into the next decade with a bigger building and all that. But it is maybe not the highest priority in the overall university plans for building.
Yeah, I heard some words about the building. So, what are the main problems? Is it just too small, or looks a little bit? It's not the most beautiful building.
Lack of practice room facilities is probably the biggest thing for our students, and then rehearsal space. We have only a couple of big rehearsal rooms, so it's hard to schedule in all the different groups. Some of them end up having to meet at odd times, and even other buildings. Some of the smaller choral groups just to get a space. So that is a major problem for us.
There's also limited large classroom space as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we do that.
So we luckily can once in a while get into another building nearby to have a larger space with a little more technology available. So.
You don't have technology in our classroom.
We've been slowly adding projectors to each of the classrooms. When I came here, there was no Wi-Fi, there were no projectors in any of the classrooms, so those have slowly been added, which has helped a lot and as teaching tools. So it's gradually being done, but not every classroom has it yet.
You came about 6 years ago.
Yes, correct.
Do you have any other?
Yeah,
Okay, go
we
ahead.
do have 4 local productions. I see there's an opera workshop. I didn't see any full production.
Opera. Yeah, sure. Yeah, Bill, go ahead and answer since he's our voice teacher.
I'm. As I said, I was here to listen. I wasn't part of the official group asking the questions, but I wanted to be able to listen so that I didn't have to do it on my own time later. But since you asked the question about opera, they've agreed that I could address that. We do have an opera workshop. We have about 40 singers taking lessons for credit each semester. Just to give you a sense of how many singers we're talking about. Probably around 15 of those are performance majors. There are a few grad students. So from that pool of singers, we can usually get a good showing for opera workshop. It's in a curriculum that is about 4 semesters long. The first semester is basic stagecraft, character analysis, helping students work that way. Second semester, we try to apply those skills into a scenes program. Third semester, now into the second year, it's again coming back to stagecraft, but with the specific goal in mind of a more fully staged production in the 4th semester. So we try to follow that trajectory. It seems to be working. We're roughly in our second round of that. We're also hampered in Opera Workshop by the same issues about facilities. And we have another venue on campus that works pretty well for us, but it also presents its problems. But it's an actual proscenium theater, so we do have a place to go. It has no orchestra pit, but we make do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Actually, we can kind of start from scratch every semester. I think the solution makes sense.
Yeah. Thank you.
What's the teaching load?
Yeah, it's an 18-hour teaching load, correct? You can, well, it's different for applied it's 18 hours. So about one of those hours might be the studio class. Perhaps if it's a pianist, there might be an hour of chamber music, coaching, that kind of thing, or for a wind or brass teacher. But then the rest are students, either majors or minors. And then for
academics, the load is usually 3-2, so one semester, 3 classes, and the next one 2. Although I believe there are a few who've negotiated a 2-2 load. It's more common to have a 3-2 load. There are a number of lectures in the department, and academic lectures usually have a 3-3 load.
Okay.
And some who are tenure track and tenured also teach 3-3, even though 3-2 is the recommended. I am one, for example.
They're not unionized, right?
Oh yes,
Oh,
we're
yes.
unionized.
Oh, they're unionized.
Yes,
So how does that go? They have different teaching loads.
it's a good
per
union.
unit.
It's working well. They are able to
Okay.
get.
But the union will accept that. Someone teaching 3-2 and someone 3-3.
Does the union accept that kind of teaching load?
They accept whatever's in our contract, is what I understand.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think our union would accept that. Within the same department, different teaching loads.
Uh-huh.
Good.
But it might
You know what-
it might be helpful for you to know that the department chairs are not part of the union.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Okay, and whether or not the chair would be teaching at all is still under conversation, if that's what you were wondering about.
No.
Okay.
It was more finding problems with that. Differentiated teaching loads. So what's your scholarship budget for incoming investment?
Good scholarship budget. Yeah.
In terms
What's
of
that?
research,
Right. Oh, I think you mean for your students.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
We always wish we had more scholarship money, but we do have a fund, and we overextend that fund in knowing that students, probably some of them are not going to come. So usually, many offers are given, and then we see hopefully that we're not going to be in debt after we fulfill those scholarship grants. But we are in competition with other schools nearby, and Ithaca being one, for example, it offers quite a bit of scholarships. It's not that close, but some schools have more money than we do. But we have Chancellor's Talent Awards, which are full tuition, but of course the fees are much more than the tuition. So, but we can sometimes piece those together and give out 2 of those for an out-of-state person that's highly desirable in a certain instrument. So, but our quest is always to have more scholarship money, probably across the entire campus.
I think one of the areas where we actually have more scholarship money is at the graduate level. Like in music history, we only offer a master's degree, but our master's students who come are usually fully funded in the sense they have a stipend plus free tuition. Whereas at other institutions, master's students are often not funded, so that allows us to attract some students who wouldn't ordinarily come here.
The same for
Same for theory, yes.
Yes, and applied. We have very good teaching assistantships. They're about $8,000 stipend and a full tuition. So it's very good and quite competitive with other places. It's a 10-hour work week.
Oh, 10 hour.
10-hour, yeah.
Oh, you're doing more than me. Oh.
All right.
So how to recruit students? The tuition is a little higher than other states, but maybe not compared to New England. But
Yeah, living is a little higher here.
They're about 12,000 for each state. Is that an issue, or is it that everybody expects to pay in Massachusetts?
I didn't understand your last statement.
So, is it hard to recruit students in states? Because the tuition seems a little high compared to many other places. However, maybe your tuition is quite normal in the Commonwealth.
Yeah, I don't find it's hard to recruit students in state because of the tuition, no.
In
Being a flagship.
Massachusetts is noted for its education, so a lot of the students that come here are attracted to the Commonwealth Honors College, and it's cheaper than going to Harvard or one of the private institutions in Boston.
Yeah.
It's very well thought of, yeah, the Honors College, yeah.
There are many students in the college. Many music students in the
Yes,
college.
we have a lot of music students in the Honors College. We really do.
We have almost none because we can't fit the schedule.
Oh, yeah. No, it's been working out well for us, yeah.
Good.
Anything else?
How does the music department music unit interact with dance?
How do we connect with dance?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, we are in 2 separate buildings clear across campus, so it's very difficult for the small faculty in dance to get over here for regular meetings. However, one has been on the personnel committee for 2 years, and he's been very devoted. We occasionally have performers from our department appear on stage with the dancers, and we would like to have more of that occur. But it is a little bit of a logistical problem being across campus like that. So the more that we can do that, the better, and they enjoy it as well. We have a good relationship with the dance facet of our department. At times they have thought of joining perhaps with the theater department instead of music, because they have to work with the theater department on staging a lot, and they definitely do that. So that hasn't quite happened, so it's a conversation that keeps happening, but at the moment they're still with the music department. It's still music and dance.
Do the composition students write music for production, or do they have a formalized collaboration on stage?
Well, I know that one of our music history professors is doing a first nights course, And so as one of the final classes, he has commissioned several pieces from composition students to be performed in the class.
No, that's, yeah, I think that's the cooperation that's happened, yes. I think
Okay.
that's,
So maybe we're running out of time. I don't know.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I'd like to wind up by letting you know where we are in our process.
Okay.
You are really very much.
Sorry about this, but I can't take any requests right
Oops.
now. Please try again in a little while.
All right.
Sorry, we're in Nadine's office, and her
uh-huh.
electronics are speaking
very loud.
uncommanded.
Even on silence.
We're about in the middle of the Skype interviews, which are the first round, and we're hoping to be done in another week or so. And after that, the committee needs to meet and prioritize the various candidates. And once that's happened, then my job will be preparing a memo that goes to our Equal Opportunity and Diversity office, and we need permission from them to proceed and invite candidates to campus. And this is the part of the process that we just don't have any control over the timing. We could hear back from them very quickly after the memo goes up, or they might keep us waiting for some days, and it's hard to predict. So overall, we are hoping to wind this process up and be ready to make an offer sometime around the middle of March.
Okay.
So that's approximately where we are right now.
Sounds like a rough biography of BDSU as well. Time to.
So thank you so much for taking this time to talk with us.
Yeah, thank you.
Sure.
Okay,
Thanks
great.
a lot.
Okay.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.